Hello everyone, welcome back to our movie recaps. We're here to bring you the most exciting movie stories of all time. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because one lucky subscriber could win a free scooter. Alright, no more waiting around, let's jump right into today's recaps. One day, a spaceship landed silently above the city. After that, there was no more movement. No one knew if the extraterrestrial life was here to attack humanity or to communicate. 3 months later, humans gathered the courage to open the hatch and found the beings inside, resembling refugees, severely malnourished, with shapes akin to large shrimp. Humans dubbed them Prawn people, and the government placed them in slums, isolated, and deployed the military to control the area, officially naming it District 9. Within this district, gangs ruled, armed with their own forces, constantly seeking to obtain the prawn people's advanced technology, as it required their DNA to operate. Resorting to cannibalism on the prawn corpses, attempting to alter their own genetics, led to a large-scale riot. Prawn people set fires, destroyed train tracks, and humans began forcibly evicting them. Under pressure, the government handed this task to the MNU organization, and our protagonist, Malvi, became the leader of this operation. Malvi, bureaucratic and sneaky, yet cowardly, initiated the operation swiftly, forcefully making prawn people sign documents and ordering immediate shooting of any resistors. This approach quickly provoked outrage. As the prawn people were about to encircle them, fearing for his safety, Malvi continuously threw out cat food, prawn people's favorite, as a peace offering. However, when facing prawn hatchlings, Malvi revealed his cruel side, ordering his subordinates to incinerate them all with flamethrowers and starting a live broadcast. Meanwhile, a prawn father and son were rummaging through a garbage heap, searching for something. Soon, the little prawn found a cylindrical object, which they brought back to their dwelling to dissect and experiment with. By the way, if you enjoy our movie recaps, we're currently hosting a giveaway for our audience. We're excited to announce that a brand new scooter awaits one lucky subscriber. Don't miss out. Subscribe and follow us to stay tuned for more updates. After a series of filtering and refining through instruments, they extracted a single drop of liquid. They had been conducting this plan in secret for 20 years, and success seemed imminent. Just as they were about to celebrate, they heard Malvi's voice outside. The young prawn instructed his companion to hide the mysterious liquid, while he slipped out the back door to fetch his son. However, his clumsy accomplice quickly got into a conflict with Malvi upon seeing the equipment on the table. Malvi soon found the bottle of mysterious liquid, and as it leaked onto his face, he initially paid it no mind. Little did he know, his nightmare was about to begin. Using his intuition, he found the ominous arsenal, a significant discovery in 20 years. He immediately contacted headquarters for support. Seeing the situation exposed, his accomplice turned against Malvi, only to be swiftly shot dead by a sniper. The green prawn, who witnessed everything, quietly left the scene, storing away his hatred for another time. Soon after, Malvi arrived at the dwelling, and upon seeing the room full of electronic devices, felt certain that the two things were connected. However, the aftermath of his recent exposure started to take its toll, sparing the young prawn from harm. Back at the base, Malvi's body inexplicably began to ooze black blood. His fingernails started falling off, and he eventually collapsed during his own celebration feast. Upon waking up in the hospital, Malvi discovered to his shock that his right hand had transformed to resemble that of a prawn. After the doctor reassured him, armed personnel from the organization promptly arrived and forcibly packed him into a travel bag, taking him back to headquarters. There, Malvi learned the truth about the world he lived in. For the past 20 years, the organization had been dissecting prawns and conducting experiments. They soon realized that Malvi had become fused with the prawn biology. They forced him to use prawn weapons, threatening him with dire consequences if he refused. They even used his wife's life as leverage, coercing him to kill prawns with the weapons. At this point, Malvi was no longer considered human by the organization, but rather a valuable asset worth billions. In order to find a balance between humans and aliens, the organization decided to vivisect him. Upon realizing that even his father-in-law, upon whom he relied, had betrayed him, Malvi became fearful for his life. He took the doctor hostage and fled the laboratory. His father-in-law immediately issued a global manhunt, accusing Malvi of having abnormal relations with the Prawns. Everyone distanced themselves from him, including his former brothers-in-arms. With nowhere else to go, he could only flee to one place, District 9, where he had once wielded authority to force the Prawns out. However, this time, he was just a lowly fugitive. As he ate cat food, he noticed his teeth were also falling out. Unable to accept his current existence, he grabbed an axe and attempted to sever one of his fingers in a desperate act of defiance against his sudden and unbearable fate. The pursuit from Malvi's father-in-law's men continued relentlessly. By a stroke of luck, he found refuge in the dwelling of the young Prawn. He pleaded for their help and then collapsed unconscious. Upon seeing his mutated arm, the Prawn decided to assist him. This act of kindness prompted Malvi to risk his own life to save them in the days to come. When Malvi regained consciousness, he found himself in the young Prawn's basement. From him, Malvi learned that the mysterious liquid was the fuel for their return to their home planet, and the cause of his mutation. However, the only way to retrieve the liquid from the MNU was a suicide mission. With the mutation accelerating, time was running out for Malvi. At this critical moment, his wife called, expressing her desire for them to return to their past life. With the young Prawn eager to return home and Malvi desperate to revert to his human form, they faced a dilemma. But both their wishes could be fulfilled if they retrieved the mysterious liquid from the MNU headquarters. The next day, Malvi sought out the local gang to purchase weapons, but he ended up drawing the attention of the gang leader, who targeted his mutated left hand for amputation. In a moment of desperation, Malvi activated an alien weapon nearby, swiftly neutralizing the gang members. After sparing the gang leader's life, Malvi successfully escaped the camp with the weapon. By the time Malvi's father-in-law's mercenaries arrived, Malvi had vanished. Together with the young Prawn, they infiltrated the MNU headquarters, wielding the alien weapon to their advantage. They quickly reached the lowest level of the laboratory. Just as Malvi retrieved the mysterious liquid and prepared to leave, he discovered the young Prawn standing motionless nearby. His friend had been gruesomely dissected, his flesh a bloody mess. Seeing his friend's tragic fate, the young Prawn was overwhelmed. As he faced imminent death at the hands of the mercenaries, Malvi reminded him that life is not just about oneself, but also about one's loved ones at home. This statement snapped the young Prawn out of despair. He grabbed a bomb from beside his fallen companion, blasted a hole, and together, they escaped in a car. Returning to the basement in District 9, they found themselves at odds. The young Prawn insisted on saving their own kind first, preventing all prawns from becoming human experiments. With the limited supply of the mysterious liquid, he needed to return to their home planet first. Malvi, however, grew impatient. He knocked the young Prawn down with a stick and seized the mysterious liquid, entering the spaceship alone. With swift maneuvers, Malvi successfully activated the spaceship, preparing to return to the mothership for treatment. Meanwhile, the mercenaries' missiles targeted them and soon brought the spaceship down. Malvi was captured while hiding inside the ship. Witnessing this scene was the young Prawn's son, who had been hiding nearby. Just as Malvi and the young Prawn thought their fate was sealed, a twist occurred. The gang leader and his men arrived, engaging in a firefight with the mercenaries. They successfully rescued Malvi from the mercenaries' grasp. The gang leader raised his knife, ready to sever Malvi's arm, but the young Prawn's son activated the mech warriors inside the gang leader's headquarters. The human machine guns were no match, swiftly eliminating all the mercenaries. Then, the mech warriors opened their chests, indicating for Malvi to sit inside and take control. With remote operation, they successfully activated the mothership, arriving above them. Now wearing the mech suit, Malvi burst out of the ship without looking back at the mercenaries' leader, fleeing the scene. However, upon hearing that the young Prawn was about to be killed, he decisively turned back, beginning his own redemption.
Hey, come on. Get up. I'm gonna get you out. Get you to the docks. Get up, man. I'm gonna get you there. I'm gonna get you to your boy.
Amidst the gunfire, the young Prawn, under Malvi's cover, reunited with his son. The mercenaries suffered heavy casualties, and Malvi faced his own struggles as the mech suit's defenses weakened. Perhaps realizing there was no way out, he began to bid farewell to the young Prawn under his protection.
You have to make it. Don't make me go through all of this and not like it. You understand? Go now before I change my mind, man. Go!
As Malvi watched the young Prawn safely flee, he began his own desperate counterattack. He had given up hope for survival, focusing solely on defending the young Prawn's escape route. Grabbing a nearby pig, he used it to pummel the mercenaries, leaving them reeling. Meanwhile, the young Prawn finally reunited safely with his son as the mothership hovered overhead. The young Prawn began remote control operations, and the mothership emitted a peculiar beam of light, shining down on them. Seeing the situation reach a critical juncture, Malvi unleashed all the missiles on his mech suit, nearly wiping out the mercenaries. He could barely stand, but when he saw the mercenaries' leader aiming a rocket at the young Prawn, he resolutely intercepted it with his hand. As he raised his hand to strike, a car rammed into his mech suit, destroying it completely. Watching as the young Prawn and his son safely returned to the mothership, Malvi resigned himself to his fate. The most beautiful display of his humanity shone through his grotesque mutation. Powerless to resist, he could only watch as the mercenaries' leader ejected him from the mech suit. Malvi's sacrificial act to save the young Prawn and his son deeply moved all nearby prawns. They rushed out, dismantling the mercenaries' leader and saving Malvi's life in the process. In the mothership, the young Prawn and his son set the course to return to their mothership. In the gaze of Malvi and all the prawns, they gradually departed from Earth, fulfilling their mission. Malvi accepted his impending fate with calmness. In the story's conclusion, Malvi's wife opened an iron-folded rose. She believed it to be a gift from her husband, and indeed it was. The truth revealed itself. Malvi had fully transformed into a prawn. This transformation became his sole tie to the world.